Takes a certain kind of people living certain virtues, possessed of a certain character, to make democracy and the free economy work. Free politics and free economics set loose tremendous human energies. Unless there's an internal compass that guides those energies, they're going to spin off in bad directions. So something like the Catholic Studies program fits citizens for an active role in society by equipping them with the ideas and with the virtues necessary to live freedom nobly and well. We believe in the Catholic tradition that you can get at those truths by an exercise of reason. But we also know that it's in some sense easier to grasp those truths first through the lens, to see those truths first through the lens of faith, and then to understand the fullness of them through the gift of reason. So it's faith and reason working together to grasp the essential truths, moral truths of the human condition that allow us to build humane and decent societies. We begin always with the dignity of the human person. That's the beginning of all right thinking about politics, begins with the dignity of the human person. Catholic tradition then teaches us to look to the common good and how together human beings living freely and responsibly build societies commensurate with that human dignity. Catholic social doctrine teaches us to live in solidarity with others. It also teaches us that civil society, all of those free voluntary associations that begin with the family and extend on to the church and all other forms of free and voluntary association, are essential parts of the texture of a free and virtuous society. It's not just the individual and the state, it's civil society as the mediating structure, if you will, between the individual and the state. Evangelical Catholicism is the church that is being born in the beginning of the 21st century in response to the Second Vatican Council, the teaching of John Paul II and Benedict XVI. It's been anticipated in programs like this one here at the University of St. Thomas, which helps students to understand that they are disciples in mission. And that every Christian is baptized into a missionary vocation. That's a somewhat new idea for Catholics. We're used to a self-maintaining institutional church. That's insufficient under the demands of the 21st century and the third millennium. And as John Paul II taught us at the end of the Great Jubilee of 2000, every one of us has to put out into the deep. Like the apostles on the Sea of Galilee, to do what? To offer others the gift of friendship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Genuine tolerance comes not from ignoring differences, but by engaging differences with civility. And you can only engage the other's convictions when you have a secure grasp on your own. So by preparing students well here to be the heirs of the Catholic intellectual tradition. By the very fact of doing that, the Catholic Studies program here is preparing students to be men and women in active conversation with others. This is home for people. This is a place to dig deeply into the culture of the church. The church is a culture. And to live that here and in Rome is to come away a transformed person. And that's what education does. It forms character. It forms adults transformed by genuine learning. I think it's essential that prayer, the liturgical life of the church, is a part of the educational project. We don't have our Catholic lives over here and our educational lives over here. And that the students here have the availability of a chapel with the Blessed Sacrament in it is an essential part, not a peripheral part of their experience. It says that faith doesn't live just between our ears or in our hearts. It says that faith touches necessarily all aspects of our lives, including our lives as citizens, as participants in a free economy, as members of society, and as molders of culture. I think they can do anything with a Catholic Studies major. They can go into the professions, they can go into religious life, they can go into the life of culture, they can become teachers, they can become good parents. This is the kind of well-rounded classical liberal learning that allows people to build on top of that platform whatever structure of achievement and responsibility they wish to build. What has been built here over 20 years is most impressive and provides a foundation on which even greater achievement will be possible in the future. I would hope that the center becomes an animating force throughout the entire University of St. Thomas, and that it becomes even more a place where all of the Twin Cities can, in various ways, discover the richness of Catholic culture, the richness of Catholic intellectual life, and the richness of Catholic worship. This place is already a beacon for Catholic life in the United States, and I hope the light grows ever brighter in the years ahead.